Show.
It's the Tiny and Katy Show.
Hey, I'm Tiny.
And it's Katy. Hey, Tiny. We are officially old enough to drink.
Wow, I love it. We can buy alcohol now.
Our show is officially old enough to drink, which is pretty exciting.
If you look at the show's license, it'll say 21. And
21.
We can buy the booze. We're not going to, but we could buy the booze. It's the Tiny and Katy Show, episode 21, all powered by Roots Hair Design, Route 11 in Marion. Katy, how was your week?
It was good. It was pretty uneventful. Gearing up for the big bachelorette party coming up this weekend. And
that's this weekend. Holy cow.
Not going to say the destination because it is a surprise, but there are 19 girls going to the bachelorette party this weekend. And Tiny, I got to tell you, so I've been kind of the point person for the bachelorette party, and I take those kinds of responsibilities very seriously. So I put a lot of thought and effort into it, but it's a lot trying to coordinate 19 girls. Luckily, the bridesmaids have been really good about giving money, so it hasn't been too terrible. But I thought this was a miracle. 19 girls are going. 18 of us obviously are going to pay for the hotel, and we're going to cover Bridget's portion. And every single one of the girls has paid me. Every single one. Every single one. I mean,
what's amazing? I couldn't get Katy to pay me back for the equipment that she's using right now for the podcast, but yet you can somehow find 18 women who will pay you back just like that.
Well, I feel like you probably owe me in some capacity for something. So let's just call it even. Yes.
Me?
You. Yes, you. Let's just call it even.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to call it even.
What the hell do I owe you?
I mean, listen, I provide
do you remember that year you didn't talk to me?
Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you what, I can hold a grudge like no other. Other.
But you only hold it when it's convenient.
Exactly. That's what everybody does.
It's like that one bullet in the gun that you never fire unless you need to prove a point or do something. It's like, Katy, what the hell is what's up with that? Hey, you remember when you didn't talk to me?
It's so funny. I have a couple friends that one time they did something, and I still bring it up to this day. Like, for example, let me tell you a quick story. I was with my ex-boyfriend, and we went into downtown Winchester for my cousin Susan's birthday party. And we ended up, I took my car down, and we Ubered back to the hotel. So I said to my cousin Susan and her husband, I said, will you guys just run us down? This is before I lived in Winchester. I was living in Hagerstown. I said, will you guys just run us back down to our car in the morning so we don't have to spend the money to Uber? Actually, I don't even think Uber was around then. Maybe it was a taxi. I don't remember how we got home. They were like,
Either way, it cost you something.
Exactly. No problem. So I left my car downtown. We went back to the hotel. And in the morning, I called Susan's cell phone and she didn't pick up. So then I called the front desk and I said, hi, I'm trying to get in touch with Susan Dickinson. And the woman at the front desk said, her and her husband left, but they left you a note. And it said, hey, sorry that we skipped out on breakfast. Love you. Talk to you later. And I was like, oh my God, like, how are we going to get down to our car? Because this is before the days of Uber. So I think we had to get a taxi. But at that point, it was a Sunday morning, 8:00. Taxis aren't readily available. We waited for quite some time and taxied down to get the car. And this was, I don't know, I was maybe 23. This was 13 years ago. And every now and then, if I really want something, or I'm just feeling like I kind of want to like jab at them a little bit, I'll say, hey, Greg, do you remember when you left me at the hotel in Winchester?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, yes, I remember. Do you want me to pick up the check tonight? Do you want me to get the check tonight? The beer's on me. And I'm like, that's right. Even though that was like 15 years ago, I'm still going to bring it up to get ahead in life.
You remember that. Don't you forget it. I'm trying to think if there's something like that for me. Like if there's anything, not necessarily for you, but if there's anyone in my life where I do have one. And I know now, having a child of my own, that this can really just jab at you. Is when I was in the second grade. You want to hear a funny story, by the way? Because this is all...
Bring it on.
Okay. So when I was in second grade, occasionally...
Second grade. You're still holding on to this grudge from second grade?
Oh yeah, it's not a grudge. It's not. It's just something that I throw up whenever I really want to just have some fun.
Okay.
So I'm in second grade, and they would have kids come up and do on the announcements if they had a funny joke to tell, or whatever the case may be. And I said to my teacher, you had to get permission from the teacher to go up and ask the principal if you could do it. I did. She said, yeah. And I said, I have a joke. It's a poem. It's a joke. And she said, okay, go talk to the principal. I went up and he said, absolutely. Come on back. We'll do it tomorrow, whatever it was. So the next time I go up and do this, and now bear in mind, I'm 7 years old. So what I'm about to tell you, I know is stupid, but here was the joke.
Oh boy.
Peanut. Here we go. Peanut sitting on a railroad track. His heart was all aflutter. All of a sudden he heard a train toot toot. Peanut butter.
Oh yeah. Man, Tiny.
So I'm like, I think that I'm just gonna have to fight the chicks off with a stick, right? Okay. So
that's so it's not even a joke. It's just a stupid song.
Yeah, I go strutting down the hallway like I am John Travolta in Grease. Okay, and I'm like, yeah, come on, bring it.
Peanut butter. Yep.
Pause for applause. The girl's gonna be, oh, peanut butter boy. Oh my goodness. Oh God, give me your autograph.
You're gonna be driving the girls nuts over this joke.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
So I walk back in the classroom. I'm proud of myself. I thought, that's funny. I hope people laughed. I swore when I gave the announcement that I could hear guffaws coming from all over the school. So I walked back in that classroom just as proud as a peacock. And that teacher had a look on her face that if looks could kill, I'd have been dead at 7 years old. She was fuming mad. Now, I didn't know at what, but she said to me, she goes, take your seat right now. And I'm paraphrasing all this. Anyway, she was pissed at what I said on the announcements. And I'm like, whoa, oh. And her name is Mrs. Nelson. And she was an interesting cat, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I said, Mrs. Nelson, and I'd never been in trouble, ever. I was teacher's pet, I'll admit that.
I'm sure.
I said, well, wait a minute. I told you that it was going to be this, I forget what I called it, poem, song, whatever, but it was a joke.
It's not a joke.
You told me that you were going to read a poem about fall. What? Why? I didn't even have a poem about fall. Why would I say I was going to write a poem about fall? I wouldn't do that and then do what I did because then I knew I'd get in trouble if I'd lie. Why would I even do that?
Yeah.
It's not like it couldn't be a secret, not to mention I had told the principal what I wanted to do. He was absolutely fine with it. I do distinctly remember he laughed at it once he finished the announcements. He didn't want to hurt
he didn't want to hurt your feelings, obviously.
Like, way to go, Daniel. That was awesome. Excuse me. Never let that boy up here again. Okay. Just never again. Okay. So anyway.
Okay.
Go ahead. What was your question?
I want to hear the rest of the story.
All right. So she tells me, I'm going to call your parents. Oh, my.
Oh. She's really mad about this. It's not even an offensive poem.
She was taking this serious. Well, then that's what I'm thinking. So I'm 7 years old, and I'm trying to figure out what actually made her upset. And I'm like, my God, my parents are going to kill me. My dad is going to kill me. Because, I mean, she's mad. Teacher's mad. And they're going to believe her. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. What am I going to say? So, man, that was early in the day. That was first thing in the morning. So I had to spend the whole day thinking about what was going to happen to me when I got home. Should I write out my will now? Mm-hmm. To whom will I leave my earthly possessions? All right. Because I'm not making it back here tomorrow.
Let's bring this in for a landing here.
And I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, she forgot to call home. Mm-hmm. So get home, and I go in my room, and Mom gets on the answering machine, and I'm like, oh, please, God, please, God. And there old Mrs. Nelson is. And she's pissed. Like, oh God, I'm dead. So I go out and I got my head hung down, and Mom says, what happened? I told her, and she said, well, you're going to tell your father. I'm like, okay, whatever. Dad comes home. Long and short of that is he believed the teacher, which you should be able to do. I'm not arguing that.
Okay, but the teacher's saying, I thought Daniel was going to read a poem about fall, and he said something about peanut butter.
Right.
I just don't understand. I mean, maybe she was really having a midlife crisis, because I don't understand why this would upset anybody. As a teacher, I don't understand, but carry on.
I don't know what her issue was, but Mom said, okay, well, you have to tell your father. So, because Dad was a disciplinarian, and I understood that. When Dad got home, Mom told him, she said, I'll tell him what happened. And so then Dad calls me out, and I'm like, oh, here it comes. God almighty, I'm so sorry. And he says, I forget what he said, but the point is that he put me over his knee, took my underwear, pulled them down, and he smacked my rear end. And it hurt not physically, it hurt my pride. It's the first time my dad had ever laid a hand, first and only time my father ever laid a hand on me. And he told me to go to my room. So I went to my room, and the longer I sat there, I was like, no, I can't let this stand. So I came back out and like, Dad, I know you told me to go to my room. I understand that, but I got to say, I didn't do what I was told I did. So he wound up like, okay, I'm going to call the teacher. We're going to get this situated. He went into the school the next day, and he got the principal involved. And the principal said to my father, Dan, I don't understand what her problem was. I knew exactly what he was going to do. I thought it was absolutely fine. I will have a talk with the teacher. Dad said, Mr. Bowers, I will have a talk with the teacher. Dad walked back in that room, and when I tell you that he laid into her, and I distinctly remember him saying, because of you, I smacked my son, and he didn't deserve it. And I have to live with that. So he was, so apologetic to me. I was just happy. I wasn't hurt by the smacking. I was happy that finally he knew what happened. So anyway, this is what I bring up to my dad all the time. It's like, yeah, Dad, do you remember that time that you smacked my ass and it turns out I didn't deserve it? He goes, I don't know why you have to bring that up all the time. I made that one mistake. But and the guy says, yeah, it's a big one. You hit me. And I didn't deserve it. But we laugh about it now. But I told you, and having a kid of my own, that would piss me off. I would be at that. I'd be like he did. I'd be going nuclear.
I think we need to rename the show The Tiny Show, because that was way too long of a story. And
what do you
you
want me
said
to do?
It was going to be funny. I laughed at the beginning. You could have ended it with peanut butter, but we still are holding this grudge. But, I do want to bring up a point to your story. Do you know what I think is one of the most embarrassing things in the world is when you think you're going to say something really funny and you're winding up and you have everybody's attention and you lay it on and nobody laughs. That is the one thing that hurts my pride the most, because I take my humor pretty seriously. I think I'm a pretty funny person. Sometimes I'm the only one that's laughing, but that's fine because I'm making myself laugh, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. But when I'm gearing up and I'm telling a joke and I'm thinking, I have to tell you the story, it's so funny, and I tell the story and it doesn't land, and people, this is the worst. That wasn't funny. I don't get that. It's like I don't know how to recover from it. I just want
to. It's a knife to the chest.
It is. I don't know how to recover from it, so I just laugh it off. But inside, I'm like, I'm dying. And my best friend Bridget knows this about me. So sometimes, every now and again, I'll say something and she'll look at me and she'll say, it's not funny, Katy, because she knows it's like,
I've seen her do it.
Oh my God.
I've seen her do it.
This one time, speaking of announcements and telling jokes, when I was at my school 2 years ago, they always let the kids come on the announcements to tell jokes at the end of the day. It's the joke of the day. And it's open to the kids to write in the jokes, and the principal picks the jokes and the kids come and tell them at the end of the day on the announcements. Well, obviously I was like, I know this is about the kids, but can I get on there and tell? Like, I have so many jokes that I would love to tell. So Derek says to me, yes, Katy, if you would like to get on the announcements, you can be a guest speaker. And so I tell my fifth graders, now these are fifth graders and already they think they're too cool for school. But I said, I am strutting. I said, listen, guys, I'm telling the joke of the day. I just want you to know that voice you're about to hear, that's your teacher. And I'm going to tell this incredible joke and it's going to make you guys laugh. So get ready. Everybody get ready. You're going to laugh so hard. So I go down to the office. They put me on the speaker. Now, I think this is a very funny joke.
I love how Katy mimics like she has a microphone in her hand and she has a microphone.
I actually have a microphone. Or I could just do this. I grab the microphone. Anyway. And I get on and I say, all right, this one going out to Miss Dickinson's fifth grade class. And I, like you, I'm like hearing the cheers, like, yeah, Miss Dickinson. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I said, what do you call a chicken looking at a bag of lettuce? And you say, what? And I say, a chicken sees a salad. Oh, and I start laughing. I mean, that's a funny joke. And Derek's laughing. The girls in the office are laughing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm the cool teacher in the building now because I got on the announcements. I shouted out my class. I told a funny joke. I go back in my classroom. My kids have their heads down and they said to me, did you really have to shout us out with that joke? And I'm like, are you guys kidding me? That's a really
We don't want to be
joke.
Associated with her.
They were so embarrassed that I was like, this is going out to Miss Siggins' fifth grade class. Woo! Told the joke, and I said, maybe you guys don't
We
think
got to
it's
sit
funny.
with our friends at class at lunch.
Yeah, that's like, oh, that was your teacher that told that lame joke on the announcements. But
God.
I thought that was a funny joke. But I don't think there's anything more humiliating than that. And let me tell you something that, oh my gosh, Tiny, I've been dying to tell you this. Let me tell you something.
Hang on. Let's can we put a pause here?
Yes.
Okay. So Katie's got something to share with us, and we're also going to talk about
humiliating. Yes, that happened to me the other day.
We're also going to talk about stuff that's going to make us at least feel old. So if you're a 90s kid, I've got a list for you coming up that, holy cow, when I read this, I'm like, oh God, am I really almost 40 years old?
Right, I know.
Yeah. That's all coming up on the Tiny and Katy Show, powered by Roots Hair Design, Route 11 in Marion. You don't want your hair just cut or styled. Get your hair designed at Roots Hair Design, 5459 Molly Pitcher Highway in Chambersburg, 717-375-2130. How about a women's cut? $32, $35, or $38? Guys, you're not going to get a better price on the cut you're going to receive at Roots Hair Design than $23. Now, if you have a teenager, girl or boy, $25 and $20 respectively. A kid's cut, just $18. Maybe you need your roots touched up. They have that as well. And they can do your nails, take care of your lashes, facial treatments, waxings, and what I plan to get is a massage. Roots Hair Design, 5459 Molly Pitcher Highway in Chambersburg. $10 off your first service to any new guests, and they're approaching their 12th year in business. You don't last that long if you're not doing something, or in their case, a lot of things right. Roots Hair Design, we can't thank them enough for being part of the Tiny and Katy Show.
More of the Tiny and Katy Show starts now.
Talking about humiliation, one thing that really humiliates
lay this on me.
Yes, is when I say something that I think is funny and nobody laughs, and then they say, Katy, that's not funny. It just kills me. It kills me. Well, this also killed me. I had to go to the DMV yesterday to get my license renewed. Going to the DMV is already a very stressful situation. As everybody knows, the lines are long. You know, nobody's really friendly. I mean, at least around to the DMVs that I have been to. Some people are, but for the most part. So I go in there with my passport, my social security card, everything that I need to get my license. And they actually got me in very, very quickly. They gave me the number and I was the next one in line, which never happened. So that was good karma for something. So I go over to the counter and the woman says, okay, we're going to need you to come over here and take your picture. So when you go over, and I'm trying really hard to paint a picture here. When you go over to where the camera is, there's a chair. I wish I had it. I wish I would have taken a picture of it. There's a chair that's right in front of the camera, but the way it is placed strategically would make sense that there's a chair next to it because it's not right up against the wall. It's just like kind of randomly floating in the middle of the wall. Well, I didn't look around before I sat down in the chair, and she said, I need you to have a seat. Well, the way that the camera was facing, it looked to me that the chair was about, I don't know, 6 inches in the opposite direction. So I say, okay, let me sit down and get ready. So I sit down. There's no chair there. And I fell backwards and my legs fell over my head. And everybody is looking at me. I want you to imagine, I wish I could reenact it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, here we go.
Don't worry, it won't be long.
And then my legs just go right over my head. I mean, my head is on the ground. My legs are on the wall. My legs are on the wall. It looks like I just did like some kind of like gymnastic routine.
A floor exercise.
Everybody is looking at me. Everybody. And you know how busy the DMV is. Everybody is looking at me. And I didn't even get up. I just looked at the woman and I said, did anybody see that? And she said, yeah, everybody saw that.
Everybody saw it. Oh, yeah.
So I get up and I'm like, okay, I can't ignore that this happened. So let's just draw attention to it and have a communal laugh. So that way we're kind of getting the awkwardness out of there. So
let's diffuse this now.
Right. So I stand up and I said, whoops, everybody, just so you know, there's not a chair back there. It's about 6 inches over to the left. And everybody laughed and the woman laughed and she said, I just want you to know I'm only laughing because you're laughing. And I said, please laugh with me because if you don't, I'm going to be so unbelievably embarrassed. And Tiny, you know I do not embarrass easily, but that was unbelievably embarrassing. I mean, and I said to her, I was like, I'm not drunk. I'm sober, because now I'm scared. Right. I'm at the DMV and they're like, oh, do you have anything to drink?
See, if I'd have been there, I'd help you up and be like, Katie, you do know you're trying to get a license here.
Right, exactly. I was so scared, but I'm telling you, and I sat down hard, like I was ready. I looked at myself and I said, yeah, I'm ready. Woo! Back over,
Wow.
legs on the wall. Everybody's laughing. I'm horrified. So I don't even know what my picture looked like because I just like blacked out at that point and finally
I
sat
wish
in
you
a chair
would
and
have
was just
gotten
like,
a thing of that. I wish you would have gotten a clip of that of you when like if that camera would have captured part of that. That
yes,
would have been
I
so
know.
good.
I know. I mean, I have no idea what my license picture is going to look like because I was so horrified after that. I just was like, like, it
Wow.
was so unbelievably embarrassing. But that's fine. I mean, you trip, you fall, you get on, you get up and you move on with life, right? What else can you do?
You get up and you get back on the horse.
You get back on the horse and then you fall
do.
down again and you just make a big joke about it and keep moving forward because I know that probably sometime this week I'm going to be falling down again because I do fall down a lot. It happens to me all
if
the
you
time.
want, I mean, look, if you want to see a reenactment of that, all you gotta do is hang out with Katie on any random Friday or Saturday.
I can't tell you how many times I go for a run, I trip, fall. I mean, I've left skin all over the place, like all over the state of Virginia. And it's just, it's embarrassing. I don't want people to draw attention to it, but obviously people are nice and, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'd rather you just don't even look at me. Just pretend like it didn't happen. Just pretend like it didn't happen.
That's part and parcel of the reason why Katie's favorite season is fall.
Oh, that should have been your poem that you should have said on the announcements when you were in second grade.
That would be the poem about fall.
That would be the poem that would have been appropriate.
Oh my goodness. Should I
Mrs.
do a poem
Nelson-
right here? Should I do a
Mrs.
poem
Nelson
on the
would
spot
be-
right here?
About fall?
About you and the DMV.
Yeah, bring it on. Do you want me to make up a song?
I'm going to freestyle this. Let me see here.
Do you want me to give you some beat music?
I'm just going to use the tune that I did for that peanut thing, right? Okay.
Do it.
So we got
Bring it
to
on.
see. Katie going to the DMV has to get her picture taken. The person says, "Please have a seat." Oh no, the whole place is shaking. When I was doing that,
Tiny, very good.
and I got to taken, I'm like, what the hell am I going to rhyme taken with?
I was really nervous for you because
Like,
I thought I don't want him to have to edit this out. I want this to be good.
Oh man.
But yeah, Kate. No, I'm not even going to try to come up with a song because that was perfect.
Well, now you have to.
Okay. Her name is Katie, and here she goes, going to get her license. She walks into the DMV. Yeah, I got
Well, what? I know you ain't gonna rhyme anything with license.
All right, let me try and go with something easier.
Wow.
Her name is Katie, and there she goes into the DMV. Something everyone knows.
Don't sit near her, or else when she takes the pic, she'll be lying on thee.
What? No, this isn't working.
Well, okay. Well, look,
No,
come up
it's
with
not
something.
working.
You got this is
Okay,
try
you're right,
number
you're right.
3. Third time's a charm.
All right.
You got to do this. Own it.
Okay, so you have something you want to talk about, right?
I do.
Okay, so you talk about it.
Oh, wait a minute. What are you gonna write?
I'm going to write me a little ditty here.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. So while Katie's doing that, the other day I came across this list. It is things that were normal in the 90s but are rare or non-existent now. And I'm going to read some of these. Actually, I don't want to read any of these, Katie, because I want you to interject on these.
Sorry,
So what do you got?
I'm here. Go on.
Okay.
All I have
We'll
is
come
Katie.
back to it.
Katie went to the DMV. That's all I have so far.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So, Katie, things that were normal for us in the 90s but are non-existent now. How about this? A Discman plugged into a cassette tape with a wire in your car.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, do you remember if you didn't have that anti-skip protection, you were just screwed when it came to that. Did you ever do that?
No, I don't think.
Oh, I did.
I'm not with you on that one. So carry on.
Oh, I absolutely did. How about talking to your friend's mom on the phone to see if your friend was
Is home? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I love this one. I miss this one. Being unreachable with no one thinking that was unusual or rude.
Mm-hmm. How about this one? I don't know if this is on your list or not. I used to do this all the time when I was a kid. Calling the radio station, trying to get your voice on the air, and then listening to the radio all night. And a few times when they play your shout out, recording it. And,
oh, yeah.
Or also listening for your favorite song and getting ready to hit record as soon as it starts playing.
Well, obviously it doesn't get that specific, but number 7 is pressing play and record at the same time.
Yes, I used to call the
you're right.
I used to call the radio station all the time. all the time. And I'd say, hi, my name is Katy Dickinson. I'd really like to give a shout out. And they would say, it's so funny that we worked in radio. And if somebody called and asked, can I give a shout out? I would say, no, sorry, we don't do that. But I was relentless. And they would say, okay, who would you like to shout out? And I didn't want to leave any of my friends out. So I would have like a list of like 15 people. I'd like to say hi to Brittany, Bridget, Sherry, Ty. And then I would like go through everybody and that they would never play it anyway. But I used to call the radio station all the time.
And now you know why they wouldn't play it.
Well, yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, I get it.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
I would call the radio station. I would call WAYZ where I work now, obviously, and I would call just to win the contest. And I remember they would say, "Oh no, sorry, I'd win," and they say, "Oh, you have to be 18." I'm like, "I don't care. Can you just play it on the air?"
Just play my voice on the air. There is something really exciting about hearing yourself on the radio. Hence why we did it.
To caller 11, but air my call.
Exactly.
That's what I want you to do.
Exactly. That's right. I get it.
Let's see. Oh, listen to this. You won't find these on your front porch anymore. The yellow pages.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. Taking your disposable camera or any film to be developed. Mm-hmm. That's a crazy one. How about this one? I'm going to end with this one because I absolutely remember this and I always thought it was stupid. Bras on cars.
Bras on cars? Like bras?
You don't remember bras on... Yeah, bras. Yeah,
like a woman's bra?
Well, I mean, that's why they were called bras for cars. Really? You don't remember these?
Like an actual woman's bra that they own, they would take... I have no idea what you're talking about.
In order to fit on a car, they would have to use your bra. No, it was... They were those...
Or
those
yours.
Leather, well, it's true. Those fake leather things that would go over the headlights and a little bit onto the hood. Please tell me you remember a bra on a car. How can you not remember this?
Tiny, I'm thinking about a woman's bra. So let me Google this real quick. Car bras, is that right?
Sure, it should show up.
Oh, like a protector. Like a protector to the front of the car?
Right.
Yeah, that's not at all what I was thinking. I was like, I never saw like bras on antennas driving around town.
I mean, what are you going to say when you ride by that car? Look at the set of headlights on that one.
That's right.
Oh my God, put a bra on, please.
I really support that decision. Oh, man.
Ooh, came in just under the wire. Nice. Also,
wait,
Katy,
no, it's
ahead,
over now. Something about nipple, but it's over now.
It is over now.
Yeah, sorry.
We're done with that. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
So anyway, I want to end with this. So remember last week when we were on the podcast and I said about how I upset Katy, how I, went to Jason Aldean and didn't take her and whatever. I want to end with showing you something, Katy.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to.
Well, hang on. You just hang on. You just hang on. Okay. I'm going to show it to you and you're just going to sit there and you're going to take it. Okay. That's just how it's going to be. I got to find it first. So bear with me here.
Her name is Katy, and there she goes down on to the floor. She went. Oh man! Normally I'm on fire with this kind of. After the shaken. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you this. You were upset about Jason Aldean. So how about this one?
I'm sorry. I don't see anything. I just see a black screen. No, I just see a black screen.
I think you do. Oh, no, you do. You 100% do.
I feel like I just see a black screen. Do you remember like how much I used to love when we worked at the radio station and Luke Bryan would shake it for me? Shake it for me? Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I would always get up and just like gyrate my body and be like, I'm shaking it, Luke. I'm shaking it as much as I can for you.
You know what's funny is I have that very clip.
Do you?
Of you doing that. And we will end the Tiny and Katy show with Katy, quote unquote, shaking it for Luke Bryan. Wait, hey, we'll talk to you again. What? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I shook it at the DMV when I hit the floor, and I'm shaking it for Luke Bryan. We're going out the way we came in. I like it.
Have a great week. We love you. Talk again next week.
I'm shaking it! I'm shaking it!
Oh, my God.